All right, well, the WWE draft has happened. It's over. It's done with. 2 nights, SmackDown, Raw, what have you. So I'm here to give you my thoughts on the 2021 draft. First of all, I'm going to give you a thought on the overall, before I get individual drafts, it's the overall process of the draft, I guess I could put it that way. How they do things. So I remember, like, so far be it to me to call WWE hypocrites. They are, alright, because they're saying they want to get rid of everything that makes their sport real. You know, and you can't say certain words like kayfabe or violent, and they want to make everything overproductive and show you that this is not professional wrestling, it's sports entertainment. Even though they have the thing that says, do not try this at home because the stuff is real. But also, they present all this goofy stuff, and yet when they do the draft, they kind of do it like a professional sports draft. Although, NFL teams don't draft everyone in their team. Like, we don't say, Tom Brady is staying on, or has been drafted to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he was already there. This is just to show everyone. But it is kind of boring. I remember when you used to do wrestling matches, Raw vs. SmackDown, whichever, representative of the brand won, say SmackDown Superstar won, they got a draft pick. And they even got fun ways doing it too. They put a champion against the champion, and even though they never had a clean finish, because you can't have one champion beat the other one, it's usually disqualification or something, that brand got 2 picks. And then there was a battle royal, and the winner representing whatever brand got 2 picks. Usually it was to even out. And I like that. But then they started doing this since 2016 when this come out and then name out names. And it's boring. It really is. Just boring. It's better than a Superstar Shake-Up thing where they just show up. But still, just boring. So let's get into night 1 because I have thoughts. Because I was going to make a list. Couple times, a couple of years in a row, I made lists. I haven't done it the last couple of years because I've been working. I made lists and I've been pretty close, but I decided not to this year. But I had some names on the list. So night 1 was on SmackDown, so SmackDown got to draft first. So the first overall pick in the WWE draft, going to SmackDown, is Roman Reigns. I immediately yelled out, "No!" Nothing against Roman Reigns. He is the tribal chief. We love you. I love Roman Reigns. I acknowledge you. But Raw really needed him. Screw Fox and whatever their, being greedy was. Raw needs him because Raw sucks. Raw needs him. This was followed by Raw picking WWE Champion Big E. This is not the last time you would see something like this, okay? I'm just saying, but Raw picked Big E. So, yeah, I was pretty sure Big E was going to stay on SmackDown. They knew they were going to join him, and then Roman Reigns and the Usos were going to go over to Raw. That didn't happen. Those would have been my picks, and that didn't actually happen. Well, one of those picks came true, but it's a little bit too late. But SmackDown got the Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. I don't know what they're doing. I'm assuming Becky will retain a crown jewel, and then I'm pretty sure Sasha's not going to win. So either Bianca or Becky will win, and they'll just give the Raw. I don't know why they have to switch it now, because I don't know. But yeah. And Raw picked Bianca Belair. Sorry, spoiled that one. Yeah, she needs a little bit of a change-up, I guess. Round 2 of the draft was Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown. This was needed, man. He's been on Raw since 2018. He needed a change. This is it. Yes. RK Bro stays on Raw. Of course. I would have loved for Riddle to come back to SmackDown, though, but that's fine. SmackDown's my show, so I'm gonna gear towards superstars I like being on the SmackDown brand. So, and The New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston go to SmackDown. And at first I didn't catch it. And I realized, no, wait a minute, they got switched. So they got back together after Big E won the WWE title to then get separated again. That's not the first group you see getting separated in this. I'm just saying. And a shock pick, because I didn't even know he was eligible to be in this because I thought he was a free agent. Edge drafted to Raw. I was like, wait, what? I didn't know he was in this. I thought he was a free agent going from either brand, but I guess not. Round number 3, you got Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, which is what they're calling Riddick Moss, staying on SmackDown. Okay, Nikki Ass and Rhea Ripley are staying on Raw. They're the women's tag team champions. By the end of this, we'll just wait. And then SmackDown gets from NXT Hit Row. That's Isaiah Swerve Scott, Ashanti the Adonis, Top Dollar, and B-Fab. And Isaiah Swerve Scott is currently the NXT North American champion. And Raw gets Keith Bearcat Lee. I really wanted Keith Lee to go to SmackDown. I don't like the Bearcat name, but I respect what it means to Keith Lee. He named it after a professional wrestler way back in the day. So I understand that. Final on-screen round of picks from that SmackDown. Naomi going to SmackDown. Of course, she's going to continue her thing with Sonya, even though Sonya's on both brands, but Naomi. And this kind of ruined because, okay, so you got to think every time someone who has a spouse within the WWE is drafted, they're also going to be drafted. So that's why some of the picks that I knew was going to happen, and I'll tell you with the night 2, I knew one of them was going to happen. But as soon as they said Naomi's going to SmackDown, and at the end they did this whole big thing about you got to make sure the Usos are going to SmackDown, I'm like, well, Naomi's on SmackDown. They're obviously going to go on SmackDown. And the Mysterios go to Raw, so are they going to forget about that splitting apart thing they were kind of doing? Because they seem very happy, and I don't know. And the last pick for SmackDown is Jeff Hardy. That's good. He needed a change. And he even said on Raw last night that change was coming. So it's a tease for Willow, but we're never going to get it because Vince McMahon is not creative anymore. You old fart. How they dress him up like a fairy princess or something. Oh, it's good shit, damn it. And then we have the last pick for Raw from NXT, Austin Theory, all by himself. And that connects with Jeff Hardy, I guess, because he came out on Raw and he wanted a selfie with Jeff Hardy. And they took the picture and he attacked Jeff Hardy and he took another one. Supplemental picks announced on Talking Smack after the show. SmackDown gets Aaliyah, Drew Gulak, Mace, Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Storm. Raw gets Akira Tozawa, Alpha Academy. They took my boy away. Holders. Apollo Crews and Dabakato. I refuse to call him Commander Aziz. He's Dabakato. We don't forget, Vince. We don't forget. It's because you changed their name doesn't mean we forget. In that case, I should have called Mace Dio Madden. But anyway, Dewdrop. Again, Piper Niven. We don't forget. Drake Maverick. John Morrison. We'll get into that when a certain person is drafted on night 2, okay? Nia Jax. No one cares. R-Truth. My man Reggie. Which he's the Tribal Sub Champion because of course he's going to be on there. T-Bar. Which means that Mace and T-Bar are split, and I hope they turn him back into Dominic Dijakovic. Put him with Keith Lee. And Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, rather, not Vega. So that was night 1. So we go to night 2 now. And Becky Lynch spoils it. First of all, I got pissed. Because the show started, I'm like, okay, give us a draft pick right away. No, we gotta have 15 minutes of in-ring talky-talk bullshit, followed by a match, then a draft. Why? You have 3 hours. You could have done more draft picks on air if you lessened the time. For example, you had a segment wherein Kevin Owens was about to say something. He was interrupted by Akira Tozawa, who challenged for the 24/7 championship, and just gets a stunner from Kevin Owens, and that was that. You could have skipped that and put it in another draft segment. I'm just saying, but night 2 started with Becky Lynch going to Raw. Obviously, she was going to go to Raw because Charlotte's going to be on SmackDown. That also spoils another pick. The Usos are going to SmackDown, and they were picked right away, and I'm like, so what was the point of telling Paul Heyman he had to go there and make sure? Wouldn't it have been more teeth-gripping if they're like the second to last pick of the night? I mean, come on. Bobby Lashley stays on Raw. I thought about this. I said, I kind of want him to go to SmackDown, but then again, he needs to be separated from Drew McIntyre, so that's okay. But on the other hand, he's been on Raw since 2018. Yeah, because 2018, so he needs a change, but that's okay. And Sasha Banks, stays on SmackDown. Of course she does. Round number 2, you have Seth Rollins going to Raw. So, obviously, since Becky Lynch went to Raw, he's got to go to Raw. Man. This is another one where it's just like, why did you put those back to back? King Nakamura and Rick Boogs, Intercontinental Champion King Nakamura and Rick Boogs, going to SmackDown, immediately followed by United States Champion Damian Priest staying on Raw. I wanted a switch. I like Nakamura, but he's never been on Raw at all. Like, he's never been an official Raw superstar. So I think it was time for him to switch him over. So he could be an Undertaker and always be on SmackDown. Switch him over and put Damian Priest on SmackDown. I think we should have switched the titles because we need to switch them around every once. The last time they were on the other brand was in 2017, and then they switched them back almost right away. So, yeah, time for a switch, but, you know. And Sheamus goes to SmackDown, which, okay, but Jeff Hardy's also on SmackDown. The last time they were on the same show together, they did this stupid-ass storyline with alcoholism, and I didn't care for it, and let's just keep them away from each other, okay? AJ Styles and Omos, this is round 3, by the way. AJ Styles and Omos go to Raw. I kind of wanted AJ Styles to go to SmackDown and split from Omos, because he deserves a singles career. Not going after the tag titles all the time. Shayna Baszler to SmackDown. That is good. That is good. She deserves something new. Send her to SmackDown. Give her the SmackDown Women's Championship. Have her beat the hell out of Charlotte Flair. You know? Kevin Owens to Raw. Kind of spoiled that earlier. Kind of think he should have stayed on SmackDown. Last time he was on Raw, he kind of flopped like a dead fish. So, I don't know. But they may have something for him. Who knows? This was a shocker from NXT. Xia Li going to SmackDown. Sketty Likey. She's one of my favorites from NXT. So it's good to see her, you know. Or should I say NXT 2.0. You don't have to call it that. Just call it NXT. We don't need fancy gimmicks on everything. Okay? But yeah, Xia Li going to SmackDown. Next, we got the tag team round, basically. Round 4. Street Profits going to Raw. Obviously, since Bianca Belair is on Raw, so they're going to go to Raw. The Viking Raiders go to SmackDown. Yes, they need a change up. Put them on SmackDown. They'll get better time, more time, better. Finn Balor to Raw. This one hurt me. This one hurt me because he just got back. He should have stayed on SmackDown. I'm sorry. He doesn't need to go to Raw. The last time he went to Raw, they sent him to NXT because they didn't have anything for him. They're not going to do it again just because he has a rise in popularity. You'll put him on Raw now. And Ricochet goes to SmackDown, which is good because he needs something to do. SmackDown is a place where you put people to give them something to do. You know? Round 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Round 5. Karrion Kross staying on Raw. And, okay, kind of figured he was. Wouldn't have minded if he went on SmackDown, but it's fine. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo going to SmackDown. And I kind of just went, why? Okay, so for like the last 2 or 3 weeks in a row, they've been going against Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. So now that Mustafa Ali and Mansoor on SmackDown, I said, okay, these guys should stay on Raw and separate. They're going to SmackDown, so we're going to see that match again about 7,200 more times. But I digress. Alexa Bliss staying on Raw. But I thought this was really mean. The picture they showed is not a regular draft picture where they're like, it's a picture of her holding the remains of the Lily doll and crying. I'm like, that is just mean. Why would you... Everyone else gets a normal picture. She's got to have that picture. That's... No. Vince, go out back. Give yourself a spanking. Bad boy. Bad Vince. Bad. And Cesaro staying on SmackDown. Good. Good. Don't take him away from the brand. He hasn't been on there, but don't take him away from it, okay? And finally, the last round that really got me fired up. Not happily fired up, but fired up. Carmella goes to Raw, which was another obvious one because Corey Graves is on Raw. Don't know why they had to wait till last for the most obvious pick of the entire draft. But there it is. And NXT's Ridge Holland is coming to SmackDown. That's... I don't know. He can do good. He can do good. This is the one. I'll tell you right now. Sami Zayn is the final pick of the draft going to SmackDown. Because I want to rant. They announced on air. They announced this one on air and it makes no sense to me. Olympic gold medal winner, Gable Steveson. Let me remind you that this guy has done nothing but win a stupid-ass gold medal in the Olympics. Look, I understand that's a good thing, it's a prestigious thing, but that's all he's done. He hasn't trained, he doesn't know how to do the WWE wrestling, he hasn't done anything, no in-ring training for the WWE, nothing. All he's done is won that gold medal and signed a contract. He hasn't gone to NXT, he hasn't gone to Performance Center, he's done nothing. And he's announced on the air. But a in-ring veteran like John Morrison, The Miz too, because this was announced on here too, The Miz. But John Morrison, I get The Miz is on Match Dancing with the Stars, he can be off screen, but John Morrison has been wrestling for what, 20 years now? I think he started training in 2001 and then got the Tough Enough in 2002. So almost 20 years. And been to every single promotion you can think of except for AEW. At this point, maybe Ring of Honor. Winning championships, proving that he's one of the best things on the screen when he's able to do stuff. And you announce him through social media or talking smack, whatever. Meanwhile, this goof, Gable Steveson, gets announced on live television. Why? Because I guarantee they're going to try to make him the next Kurt Angle. He's not going to have anything Kurt Angle had, and he's going to be chasing the 24/7 title for the rest of the year. That's it. That's it. It infuriates me. I'm sorry. It does. I understand he's probably got a talent, but as South Park has taught us, there's a big difference between the mat-based collegiate wrestling and the stuff you see in the WWE. Okay? But enough of that. Supplemental draft. Raw gets Dana Brooke, the Dirty Dogs, the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, Jackson Riker, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim, because, Keith Lee, The Miz, Tamina, because there's nobody meaner, and Tegan Knox. Oh, and Veer. I forgot him up here. While SmackDown gets Jinder and Shanky, Natalya and Shotzi. That's it. I don't know why they can't just gave them even rosters because half of the people they have on Raw they won't put on TV anyway. So what? Raw has 3 hours, but you don't put half of the people you have on TV anyway. So what's the point of having more superstars on Raw when you don't use them? And these people are free agents. Brock Lesnar, which he was announced thanks to Paul Heyman, he's a free agent, he can go whatever he wants. Asuka, because she has a hand injury, which shouldn't affect your wrestling because it's a hand, not... That's what I get. Oh, hand or ankle, and they take forever to get back in the ring, and I'm just like, your hand can heal in 2 weeks. Your ankle can heal in 2 weeks. Why does it take you 3 months to get back? I don't know. Bayley, she's out. Hope she goes to Raw. She needs a change. Elias, they're supposed to be doing something new with him. I don't know. Eva Marie, which is weird because she was on Raw, wasn't she? Or maybe she wasn't. I don't know. Lacey Evans, she have a bambino or bambina. She have a baby. Lucha House Party. They're probably staying on Raw because of 24/7 stuff. Maurice, when was the last time she was on TV? Slapjack, which I hear he's now Shane Thorne again, and he's a Crocodile Dundee wannabe. And Titus O'Neil, he's probably still under the ring from when he slipped in Saudi. He's hiding so he doesn't have to go this year. I don't know. But, yeah, so there it is. Yeah. I don't know. Some of these things, the Gabriel Stevenson thing rubbed me the wrong way. I'm sorry, but this guy's a rookie. I understand why they did it, though. I do understand why they did it. They did it because they believe this guy's the future. But in doing that, you also disrespected someone like John Morrison, who's been around, who had enough respect for you to come back to your company, and yet he gets drafted on Talking Smack through social media. So what are your thoughts on the 2021 draft? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.